Hi, namaste. This is Shakti from Spiritual Alignment presenting to you April 2022 energy update. First of all, can someone pinch me? Because it is so unreal to realize that we are in the fourth month of the year already. And where is time flying by? Like, holy guacamole. Um, this month feels so drastically different than last month, and on various different reasons. But for me personally, I feel like I'm feeling so much excitement in my body that, when you're so excited and you want to dance and you have to move your body to move through that excitement, and you just dance in a funny way, and you're like completely out of rhythm because there's so much excitement that you feel in the body. That is how I feel in this month of Aries. It is just very different than the Pisces month, and this is a time where we're stepping into brand new creation for the season of spring. Last 10 days ago, we had spring equinox, and spring equinox opened a brand new portal. I think the date was March 23rd. It's a whole new portal that opened up, and it just feels like we are descending. We are moving into a great shift of our lives. And it just feels like a timeline shift where if we were to continue down the same path, it would look like this. But since that portal opened, it just feels like we're taking a detour and then moving ahead. So the trajectory is different now, and it feels like the reason we're asked to make this shift is we're leveling up in really finding pleasure in the simplest things in life. And it means to be able to have space, slowing down just enough to feel things in our hearts, in our body, to connect with these deeper things, to expand our physical awareness, and to really feel this sense of presence in the body. There's so much opening up at the body level that I can't wait to share with you soon in a few minutes. But for now, I want to talk about the shifting of timelines. If you are feeling, or if you feel in the beginning of this month that you are a different person, and your ideas are shifting, your emotions are shifting, your feelings are shifting, and even your friend circle is shifting, your community circle is shifting, please know you're not the only one. It is a normal shift to go through. In this new timeline you're going in, you may not resonate with everyone else, because remember, not only you're shifting, everyone else is shifting too. And anytime an interaction takes place between two people, it's a co-creative experience. So if that happens, if people are falling out of your list and radar, and it's not the same conversations you have with these people who are still connected with you, these are all very normal changes to go through. The change in timeline also depends on really to what degree do you identify yourself as a spirit or body. So there are almost like two paths to take in your lifetime when you live on planet. One path is to really operate from the sense of your physical identity, which is, hey, I am a human. This is my story so far. This is how I was born. These are the experiences I've gone through. This is the education I got. These are the degrees I got. These are the titles I hold. These are the companies I have worked in. And this is what my friend circle, my community looks like, right? And that's very much taking on and embodying the identity of your human self in this lifetime. And the success and a level of empowerment in that world looks very different. Whereas there's another way of living, which is connecting with your spiritual self and recognizing that you are not just a body and not just the identity of this human persona that you have taken, but you're also this multidimensional, expansive spirit, and you have a lot more power available to you if you choose to tap into it. And empowerment in that setting looks very different. Empowerment in that setting looks like daring to live your purpose, challenging yourself to work on things that you have been so scared about. It's just very different growth and expansive experience than this other experience of embodiment of your human identity. And no path is right or wrong. It really all depends on, what you are ready for as a spirit, what level of growth you're ready for. I have a feeling that all 7 billion people on the planet are going through a growth process, some with awareness, some with not as much awareness. And the growth is happening at different pace for everyone. And ultimately, we're all growing as a collective. So April, coming back to April is the month to go for it, because where you are shifting right now, whether you know it or not, you have been manifesting for the last several months. Actually, as I'm talking about it, December, the whole Saturn Jupiter conjunct that happened, I think it was December 21st. I'm not always so sharp with my dates, but December 21st, I believe, is when that happened. And it feels like a lot of what we're working on, what we're manifesting this month, are the things we have been really, really brewing within ourselves energetically for the last several months, if not last 2 years, to be honest. So the first week of April, it just feels like when this timeline shift will take place. And it is a time of reorienting, where some of the old stuff will keep coming back, and you're going to work through the energy with awareness or without awareness. You're constantly working the energy and reorienting into this new way of being. There's so much energy is lit up on the planet around rebirthing, around creating new things. So be aware of, in your own life, what are the new things you're creating? What are those new projects? What are those new adventures you're embarking on? Are you moving? Are you cleaning? You're engaging in spring cleaning. Are you creating travel plans? Whatever those new things are, they just simply define the experiences you're going to receive through them. And it just feels like a really powerful time of creation. The second week of April is more around sacred marriage. And the sacred marriage, I'm not talking about the marriage with your partner, I'm not talking about your relationship status, but it just feels like that, we all have the left brain and right brain, and some of us skew more towards the right brain, some of us skew more towards the left brain. We all have this like feminine masculine side to us, and some of us have more dominant masculine side, whether we are female or not. From gender, we have more masculine side. Some of us are maybe masculine in gender, but we have more dominant feminine side. The whole idea is that in the second week of April, we are really asked to do some deep work. So, for example, people, usually it's considered the feminine side, the right side of the brain is really good with emotional intelligence. But those people may be challenged to work on the other end of it, which is really to work on the mental construct, to work on the thought processes, to work on finding neutrality in perspective, to really have a neutral perspective on life, not to have such these heavy thought processes and belief system really guide our way forward. And folks who have this really kind of left brain, logical mind, they may be asked to work more on the emotional side of them. Because honestly, up until now, this is how we were split up. Up until now, we were at this place of, okay, if you are a woman, you are going to be more emotional, you will have that emotional intelligence. And if you're a man, you're going to be this logical, acting from that thinking mind, logical mind. And now at this point, going forward with these timeline shifts that I'm talking about, this is not really about being one gender or the other, being good at one thing or the other. It really about is finding your balance on all fronts, regardless of your gender, regardless of your philosophy, your belief system. It is really finding that point of balance where you can have the emotional intelligence and you can also have a very sound logical mind to operate from, to really take action from. So this is a very different game that we're stepping into, and it is a learning. So if you feel like we were going on this one path, and now all of a sudden something else is coming up in your awareness, you're feeling these emotions, or you're feeling just something else, very like being inclined to make logical choices, just know that this is part of the learning we're going through to find our equilibrium, okay, on all levels. The third week of April is really about, so first of all, the last 2 weeks of April look very light sunny days, and not just the climate weather wise, but it just feels like during that time, that 14-day, 10-day time frame, they're really good, lighter vibrational days, and it's nice. It's very conducive for your meditation practice. So if you are meditators, if you are a spiritual being, if you do spiritual practices, the last 2 weeks are really popping. And it just feels like in the last 2 weeks is when a lot of the actual creative process is going to kick into gear. Okay. So very exciting time. The third week of April is really about your empowered self identity. So, in the most empowered form, in your fullest expression as a spirit, as a human, what is your identity? Who are you? Who are you really? Who are you? What things resonate with you? What things don't resonate with you anymore? And it is really coming into these very subtle internal experience. It's that coming into these things that people don't know how to feel anymore. Feeling of kindness, feeling of compassion, feeling of empathy, feeling of empoweredness, feeling, and these are very subtle feelings that people are going to go deeper in, and they're going to understand what are they really drawn to, who are they, what is their identity. And the last week of April actually goes hand in hand with that. Once you know who you are, last week of April is really about ease in your next step. Really finding very clear next steps to move in. This is the month when, if you have dreams, I know clients who have had dreams to do XYZ for the last 10 years. This is a time it's all going to manifest. So whatever those dreams are, whatever those desires are that have been put on the back burner, thinking that you don't have what it takes, this is a time to dust them off and to take another good look at it, and come up with, or open yourself up to receive or download a plan to move forward. And the last week is going to bring you that clarity and easy next steps, where it is not just on you to be successful, to move forward, to build momentum, but the whole co-creative process with the entire cosmos is going to help you move forward. So really exciting times we're in. There is also another very big thing going on, which is really about physical body. And it just feels like there's a whole new level of body awareness we are tapping into. So I fell sick not too long ago. And during the time, I was in a lot of pain. I had chills in the body. I had no fever, and I had just pain in my head. And I clearly saw how much of energy I moved through in that time frame. And everything exists in polarity. When you go through such really intense process, physical process, you actually come out with really big gifts too. When you're able to feel grounded, the spirit really shows you the lessons and the gifts in that whole experience. And what I saw literally for that, I think I've been sick for like 5 days or something, maybe 4 days. I don't remember anymore. But in those 4 days, I really felt like I was accessing a whole new dimension of awareness. So there's this awareness that you're aware of the energy in your space, you're aware of your thoughts. This was very awareness of the body. And what that really meant for me tactically is like all of a sudden I'm laying down and this thought comes in my mind and points me to something, some energy sitting in the back of my heart, and like telling me there's something there that the body needs to reconcile. And mind you, this is not a very mental problem solving. This is not where my mind needed to be involved. My mind simply is a witness. And this thought came in and tells my awareness that there is some brown color energy, very specific. There's some brown energy in the back of my heart that needs some reconciliation. And all of a sudden I accept that. And then this other part of my brain asks, like, what is it? And, it's like a whole co-creative dialogue that takes place when when your intuition opens so much. You ask the question, you get the answer in no time, no space, right away in that instant. And literally I was shown this experience from the past that needed to be reconciled. And all of a sudden I'm like sitting with my partner, and all of a sudden it just felt like in my body, this is go time. I'm ready to release this. And my husband is such a compassionate man. He put his like hand on my back, and that just created this very physical experience of just crying and going through such a massive release of energy. And throughout all this experience, number one is perfect groundedness. No one is freaking out. My mind isn't trying to problem solve. My mind isn't trying to intervene. My mind is simply being a witness and just giving me access to this level of physical awareness where every sensation in my body has a reason. Even if I'm hiccuping, even if I'm twitching in one part of my body, even if I'm feeling just this subtle heaviness in my body, in my heart, whatever that subtle physical sensation is, I know what it is. I know why is it coming up, and I can track the release process behind it. And I'll tell you that this is not something I've been doing this inner work for a very long time, and this is not something I've ever had access to. So I truly believe there's a whole upgrade taking place on the physical body level. You're going to hear about a lot more people also navigating through cold type symptoms, and it's all coming up for the right reason. And if you are going through something like this, please definitely consult your doctor, get the best medical advice. At the same time, if you have this understanding, if you are feeling there's some sort of spiritual upgrade taking place for you, please reach out for support. Please know that a lot of people are moving energy in their body to really lighten up the body, to really open the body and have established these new neural line of communication with your awareness, with your mind, and all is well. I hope you enjoyed this update, and please let me know what you're creating in the month of April, how you're feeling the shift in your life right now. Please drop your thoughts in the comments below. I would love to read them. Please like, subscribe. Let me know which topics resonate with you, what you want me to go deeper into. I'm happy to take your feedback and happy to co-create with you. Okay. Enjoy your creations, enjoy your